Welcome to episode 3 of the podcast. September 1st is the date, and we have a ton of stuff in September coming out. We will talk about all the horror movies and all of that will be coming out this month in our podcast episode on Saturday, so don't miss out on that. We already did a YouTube video where we talked about that as well, but we're going to be going deeper with the horror movies on Saturday, so make sure you are tuned in for that for sure. But let's get right into today, where we have a ton of news to talk about from the horror sector. So let's start off with my favorite one of the stories to cover here, and that is the first Omen will be happening pretty soon. And so this is going to be the official prequel to the Omen franchise, which I think is a franchise. In my mind, as you know, we are getting all of these horror icons. We have Chucky, we have Michael Myers, we have Ghostface, we might have Freddy, we might have Jason pretty soon. I'll talk about that in a bit. And it's just amazing. Pinhead, it just keeps going on and on. So I think that The Omen was one of those films that we always said, this is a film, when done right, will be so good. The Deadline reports that now Tiger Free, who was in Servant, or is still in Servant because that's still going on, will actually be in the Omen movie that will be a prequel. So Arkasha Stevenson has been behind some pretty good stuff like Legion, Channel Zero, Butcher's Block, and Brand New Cherry Flavor. So a pretty good amount of work right here for sure. So this is definitely going to be interesting to see. We will have this coming out sometime pretty soon. I'm assuming they'll get started on it as it's already been announced, but I think the fact that this is going to be a prequel makes me wonder what exactly they're going to be diving into, right? Like, I think that the Omen movies have definitely been a little lackluster. I think that the original one was great. The remake was alright, but I don't know how I felt about the sequels, right? I definitely do think that if they do it right, they can do it right, but the question is, will they do it right? So let me know your thoughts and opinions. I do think that Nell is a great actress and definitely one that can bring this role to life, because Servant gives me Omen vibes. Like, I don't know, it just gives me Omen vibes. So I just feel like seeing her in that role definitely makes me feel like I could see her playing this role, whatever the role is, right? But let's get right into sequels, since we're talking about prequels right now, with Nope 2 on the way, apparently. So, according to Jordan Peele, in a recent interview that he was doing, he talks to the New York Times about Nobody. And Nobody is actually a character in Nope we didn't see. So if you remember in the trailer, there was a man who was walking through the distressed crowd that we now know was probably distressed from the Gordy incident. This scene ultimately did not make it into the trailer, and many people were left confused, wondering who this person was. Well, Jordan Peele went on to say that this is Nobody. He said, people are doing a lot of interesting detective work is what's going on. And then he went on to say, quote, the story of that character has yet to be told, I can tell you that. Which is another frustrating way of saying, I'm glad people are paying attention. I do think they will get more answers on some of these things in the future. We're not overtelling all of these stories, end quote. So this is Jordan Peele telling you there might be some stuff there, there might not. And I think the interesting part about it is that he went on to say stories. Do we see an anthology series regarding the Nope universe regarding that? Like, is there more to be told about Jean Jacket? Is there more to be told about the whole Gordy incident? Like, is there more to the story, or does he mean we'll find out in special features that might get released, deleted scenes, or an extended cut of the movie that people have been talking about ever since the first one released? That is a question I do have for Jordan Peele, and I wonder what it is. But for now, we are just left thinking, what does Nobody have to do with the whole film, right? So we'll definitely see what happens with that, and I'm excited for it nonetheless. So super pumped for that for sure. But let's get right into Rob Zombie The Munsters, which will be coming to Netflix September 27th. So this is going to be a movie that I feel is either going to be horrible or it's going to be good. I don't see anywhere in between people feeling on this, like saying, it was alright. I definitely do think this is going to be a movie where you have to have a strong opinion. Either you hated it or you loved it. So we'll see what happens with this one. It is going to be released September 27th, and it will be coming to Netflix, but also Blu-ray and video on demand. So they will also have some extra features on there if you get the Blu-ray. So definitely, if you're looking forward to that, it's going to be interesting to see Rob Zombie with a more tamed rating, right? We're used to seeing Rob Zombie go all the way hard with his movies, so we'll see what happens here. So the synopsis reads, Herman and Lily's crazy courtship takes the Munsters on a hauntingly hilarious trip from Transylvania to Hollywood in an all-new feature-length film. So I'm excited. I really am. I want to see this do good because it definitely is an interesting source material, especially for somebody like Rob Zombie to come in and do this. We'll see how it does, but I don't know. I'm excited. So if you haven't heard, Bioshock will be made into a movie, and I was excited for this because during quarantine and all of that, I played all of Bioshock. Like, I played Infinite, Bioshock 2, and I fell in love with the franchise. I really did. So when I heard that they were making a Bioshock movie, I was very excited. We heard that Netflix is on it, and now we know that Francis Lawrence, who did I Am Legend and Constantine, is on board to direct the film. First and foremost, I think that those films have the visuals that I want from a Bioshock movie. I think that that is a pretty good pick right there as well. Now, we also heard that Michael Green will be writing the screenplay, and I definitely am excited about Michael Green. I think Michael Green is somebody who is able to do a good job with a script, and we'll see how it happens here. So we don't know any much more of this. We do know that there was a Bioshock movie that was announced back in 2008, and then apparently everything fell through because they wanted to make it an R-rated adaptation, which I think is the only way to go with Bioshock. But at the time, Universal wasn't too keen on it, so the project ultimately just went belly up. So, will we be able to see a good Bioshock movie? That is a question I really do have for everybody because I'm excited, but I'm scared at the same time. I feel like it's such a easy way to do this film, but then I feel like you can get caught up with so much that happens here that you're probably wondering to yourself, what do we do? Like, where do we take this? And I think that it can be so easy to get a horror film wrong because, well, not a horror film, a video game film. I think a video game film adaptation is one of the hardest things to do because a video game is such an open world concept where you can do various choices. Like how I play the video game is going to be different how you play the video game. What you enjoy from it, maybe you like to see the architecture, the little details and everything about the game, as opposed to maybe I just like to see how the characters look and function and how this enemy walks and all of that. So there's so many minute details in it that we all like for various reasons, or we might all hate, or many of us love and some of us don't. You know, that it's going to be hard for them to capture all of those experiences and put it into a film. I just think get the story right, and I think we'll be good with that. So we'll definitely see what happens with that for sure. So let me know your thoughts and opinions on the Bioshock movie, if that's something you're excited for or are a little worried about as well. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. So we also got the Nanny trailer, which was a Sundance horror movie that came out that was apparently talked about a bit. So the film will be coming to us on Prime Video, but it won't be here in time for spooky season as it won't come out till December. But this is what it says about the film. Anna Diop stars as a Senegalese immigrant nanny working for a privileged couple in New York City. As she prepares for the arrival of the son she left behind in West Africa, a violent presence invades her reality, threatening the American dream she has painstakingly pieced together. So this one sounds pretty good. I saw the trailer and I'm very much so intrigued to see what exactly is going on here. So I'm definitely excited for this one. We'll be checking it out once it's released, and I think it looks good. I think that this is definitely going to be an interesting movie. I like the look of it. The cinematography as well is very much so what I would want to see from a horror film as well. And I'm excited. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on that below. So we got some awesome posters as well over the past week. We have the Terrifier 2 poster from Creepy Duck Design. This is a film that we're definitely going to be talking about pretty soon, as it's, I think, getting ready for more releases. I think it's going to be a fantastic fest. I think I will be a fantastic fest, but I don't think I'll be able to capture get to watch this movie over there, but definitely once it's released, we'll get a chance to talk about it for sure. We also had the VHS 99 poster done by Creepy Duck Design. Looks incredible as well. And I'm excited for VHS 99 a lot because I actually saw VHS 94 and I thought it was a good movie. I have a YouTube video where I talk more about it for sure, but I thought it was good. It definitely is more of a step up than I had anticipated from the previous VHS movies, and I was happy with the final product for it. I do think that this is definitely one that can really bring the VHS franchise back, because I think what they did in the previous movies, because I think the first VHS is good, and then after that I kind of like but I came back for 94, and I think that they have a chance to bring it all back, so we'll see what they do with all of that, right? So let me know your thoughts and opinions on Terrifier 2 and VHS 99. So we also got some Scream 6 set photos and a little video for sure that was shared by Jenna Ortega. And this is a lot of clues, I think, about what we were able to see in the next film. So it doesn't really give away much of what exactly Ghostface is up to or why they're up to doing in New York. This is going to take place in New York, by the way. But I think that this set photos that we see in the background really let us know that it's going to be a little bit more expanded than we're used to, because we see a grocery store. I would be excited to see a chase happen through here, or some stalking in the grocery store. Really aesthetic pleasing, I feel. And one of my favorite set pieces is definitely the subway that we see as well in the final picture that the crowd took. I think that would be interesting to have here, a new set photos. I think that what I'm trying to say here is, I think we're always used to Ghostface for the most part just being in a house, and I think that that's good and all, but I think that we definitely need something to expand a little further, right? I think that's something that we haven't really seen much, and of course we've seen Ghostface in other areas for sure, but I think in a spot like a subway, like dimly lit, scary look, that would definitely be cool to see. But we'll see what happens. This film is still slated for a March release, I think, so we're very much so close, and I wouldn't be surprised if by Halloween we get our first trailer, but we'll see. We never know. So Orphan First Kill actually expanded to more theaters and actually passed 6 million worldwide, and I'm just thinking here, Orphan 3 on the way or what? Because this is definitely a movie that has exceeded the odds, especially being released on Paramount, and people were still going to go see this movie. And I love seeing the director and the writer and all of them just online just championing for this movie. I think we don't see that much be done anymore for movies, where the movie's released and then everybody just like whatever, like these guys are actually going forward and pushing the movie more, and I like that. I like to see that, so definitely see what we do right there. So let me know if you liked Orphan or if you haven't watched it yet. So we also got an announcement today that we will actually be seeing the Bones and All movie, which stars Timothée Chalamet and Taylor Russell, coming to us November 23rd, 2022. This is one of my most anticipated movies as well, and it follows Timothy, who plays a cannibal, but that's all we know about it. I don't want to get more into it because I think this is a film that I want to go into not knowing much and really hoping that we get something really, really good here. We also have My Best Friend's Exorcism that will be released September 30th, 2022. We got a trailer for this. We have Elsie Fisher in this, Amaya Miller, and is directed by Damon Thomas. So I'm excited for this one. The nostalgia and everything about it. Exorcist films are always something that are fun. Christopher Landon, who did Happy Death Day and Freaky, is producing. So I'm expecting some over-the-top scenarios to happen here for sure. And I'm excited for it. I think that they are definitely going to hit this one right just from the trailer alone. And hopefully we're right and we do get a special movie here. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. This month of September, like I said, is shaping up to be a big one. We're going to talk about all the horror releases that are coming on Saturday, so don't miss out that video or podcast wherever you're listening to this, because we're going to be discussing all of them, like Pearl. We'll also be discussing Barbarian, so stay tuned for that. But overall, like I said, a lot of these stories have me excited for what's to come. And I definitely do hope we get a Scream 6 trailer before the spooky season ends, because I definitely think it's time to see that for sure. So this is the part where we just talk about what exactly we've been watching and some things to recommend as well. And for me, I think we definitely have to talk about What We Do in the Shadows. I know I always talk about it, but I think it is definitely one of those shows that everybody should be watching. It is hilarious and just one of those shows that just leaves you wanting more. And I mean, we're keeping up with the horror stuff. This is definitely a horror type show with vampires and a lot of other surprises I don't want to give away, but at the end of the day it has a lot of heart and a lot of laughs, so definitely worth checking out What We Do in the Shadows. We also do have Jaws coming out this weekend. I think it's like a 3D 40th anniversary, I think 40th, I don't remember exactly, but it is going to be releasing this weekend, and if you want to check that out, definitely do. I'm still not sure if I'm going to check it out for sure yet or not. I do want to see Jaws on the big screen, but I don't know about 3D. You know, I feel very indifferent about 3D. I think the last 3D movie I watched was like back in 2014. I just haven't been sure. Usually, I don't know, 3D doesn't usually hit for me. There's always those times it gives me a headache because it's not really done the way I think it should be. So I don't know if I'm going to be wanting to see this in 3D or not, but we'll see. We'll think about it for sure. But I like the fact that Jaws is back on the big screen. If I can find a sort of showing where it's not in 3D, then I'll probably catch it like that. But if not, then I'll probably not catch it for sure. And maybe I'll see when they do like a special event somewhere for it, right? So that's something else that should be out for sure. Horror wise, this weekend at the box office, otherwise than that, isn't looking that hot. I think that this is definitely setting up for Barbarian, which will come out next week, which is one that I'm really anticipating. So that's another one of my recommendations. I'm going to start giving. I will be going to an early screening, I believe, for this on next Wednesday. So I'll definitely have more on this movie out by then if you want to know if it's a worth it or not. I think it's a worth it, just from the trailers and just from everything I've been hearing, because people are comparing it to Malignant, where it just goes bonkers, and to hear that gets me excited. I don't know how I still feel about Malignant. I watched it once, and I thought it was okay, and then I see everybody is loving it, and I'm just like, maybe I need to watch it again. So maybe I do have to watch it again. I'll definitely do that, but we'll see. I do think Barbarian's going to be really good, though, because I think this whole mystery, that's what's down there and all of that, is something that's been missing on the big screen. And I like that the trailer really doesn't give you much. I don't know. I think there's been some new stuff released lately where they do talk a little bit more, but I'm not sure if the things are like out there all the way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if they're out there all the way releasing what exactly is down there or not. I hope that's not the case, because I think that the more that they hide this, the better it will be. There is some other movies that are going to be releasing this weekend as well, and I'll be talking about them pretty soon. But I don't know how I feel about them. They're all going to streaming. I am going to be checking out the trailers for all of them. I think Who Invited Them is one that I'm kind of excited for, just from what I've heard about it, but I'm not sure yet. I will definitely be looking into them, and if I do cover them, you'll see the videos probably pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, those are some of the stuff that are coming out for sure. We do have a ton of other videos coming for you as well. We did talk about the Nope sequel, but we also talked on our YouTube channel about Jordan Peele talking more about that Gordy scene, which he actually went on to say that is more about the exploitation that happens in the industry, and how certain, like, we see like these things where certain individuals are pretty much using others in an exploitive manner so that they are able to make more money. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me. I really appreciate you if you listened all the way to the end. Even if you didn't listen to the end and you just skipped around, I understand. Sometimes you want to listen to certain things, but just us here talking and just listening to me still means a great deal. So really appreciate you. Make sure that you're following me wherever you are listening, whether it's on Buzzsprout, Spotify. You can find us on YouTube. That's our main channel. Culture Elixir is the name also on TikTok. Culture Elixir on YouTube, Culture Elixir on TikTok, Culture Elixir on Twitter, and cultureelixir.com is our website. So we're going to be having a ton of stuff coming this month. Like I said, in September, we're getting ready for spooky season, where we're going to be having more than like it's going to be crazy, y'all. Like, there's going to be a ton of stuff dropping. The gaming stuff is going to ramp up as well as we get closer to that time period. We'll be doing more lives as well, which is something that I know I haven't been doing as much, and I've been kind of slacking. I'm just getting it all down, and I need a good format for it and all of that, so I just didn't want to do it and all of it just be like all over the place. I'm really trying to get it all down. This weekend is going to be the crunch time where I really get it all down. I got notebooks, planners, and everything, so it's all going to be good. Just wait and see, and I'm excited. I'm excited because I think it's going to be a good month, and we're definitely going to be trying to go for that new goal on YouTube, which is going to be our 25,000 mark. We just hit 24,000 over the past weekend. Really excited that we even got to that point, and now our next goal is 25,000. Of course, after that 50, and we're just going to keep growing and growing. We're going to make this community huge, and you're going to be a part of it. You're going to say, hey, I remember when we were at 24K. And I got a ton of stuff planned for sure as well, because I think it's going to be a good time to really get this community going and more. I want there to be more hands-on with y'all. Like, y'all get to choose topics we do, and I'm also wanting to do some lives where we watch a movie or something on YouTube. I'm still working the details on how to get that done, but that definitely is something I want to be doing by the end of September, so just stay tuned. We are going to go to Fantastic Fest this month as well, and I'm really excited for that, and I probably will start doing vlogs for that as well, because that is something I really want to do for sure as well, and just bring y'all on these experiences, because I think there are some great experiences and things that I would want to see as well be done, because I don't think I've ever seen somebody go to Fantastic Fest and blog it all the way. I'm going to do that. Like I said, we are doing more experience stuff. Like, we had the Squid Game in real life. We're trying to work out some other stuff as well. So if you haven't watched the Squid Game in real life video we did, definitely go check it out on our YouTube channel. That was very fun. We did it with Immersive Game Box, and we're trying to do some other stuff with some other companies. So we're just waiting to see. We're just waiting to grow and all of that. And by you just watching the videos, liking, following us on all of these other places like Twitter and all of that, we will definitely be able to bring some more stuff to the channel. So hoping to see more of that. Just give us a like, give us a follow. But that's going to do it for us. I really appreciate you. Like I said, new episode on Saturday. We'll go over all of the horror movies coming out in September, as well as some other news. And we'll talk about some of the movies that actually released on streaming, because I think on theaters, the only movie that's releasing that I saw was Honk for Jesus. But there's some other stuff on streaming, and I definitely do want to talk about them. So we'll stay tuned for that. And as always, I'll see all of you next time. Make sure you're following us on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, as well as Buzzsprout or Spotify, wherever you are. But as always, that's going to do it for us. We'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.